Well, I'm back here again today at Bristol Shipwrights, and we're doing some work on the transom framework on this 43-foot old schooner that we're building. We've been planking it with the strip planking, which we're going to go over again with Carvel planking afterwards because it's double planked. But we couldn't keep planking because we're going to get past our transom framework here, or this fashion piece is what they usually call it. We have to get these pieces in place before we can finish planking it up. So that's what we're up to. We shifted over to the transom framework real quickly, and we've accomplished quite a bit of work on it. But let me show you some of the pieces. You've seen these pieces before. This is the top piece that lays against the transom, and the decking will lay against here. Now, we've got that all tuned up. We fit it against the transom. We planed it until it fit really nicely. And so that's going to glue right down on there. But I just want to show you the ends of it. This is where the little plate's going to go over. It ties the bottom fashion piece to the top fashion piece. And we've got one going on in the center line too. Let's just put it in position here and see what it looks like. It's right about there. Now, it's got a little centerpiece that we're putting in it right here because the pieces had an imperfection in the end. We cut them off. And it was designed with a knee up through it, but it just is unnecessary because this piece of plywood right here, this is 6 layers of 1/8-inch French marine plywood, mahogany. And I'm telling you, that is strong, incredibly strong. And that's what we're out to do, is make the boat very, very strong. We don't want it coming apart or giving us any trouble. So that's the idea. And like I said, the knee doesn't do anything, really, especially with all this plywood. And this is almost acting like a knee in itself because it's much taller than it was designed. It's wider. You know, it's got a number of different features. So what we're going to do is actually take a piece like this, put it between these two pieces, like so. And then this piece is another piece that spans right across from this piece to the one on the port side. So we're going to pick that up, and that fits in there like that. So what we're going to do with that is take and just cut the bottom in the bandsaw when we get the two pieces fastened right down so they can't move, and then we're going to bolt right through here. So that's all going to be squashed right together and really strong. So this piece is kind of interesting because it's got these angles on the end that we cut here. And the reason why we do that is so that when you put it in there, as you slide it down, it tightens up. It tightens up on the ends, and it also tightens up down in the bottom because that cut is on a little bit of an angle like that. So it not only tightens up when you push it down, it also pulls it down all by itself. And then we're going to mark the top of that and cut that probably only 45 degrees. And it's just too easy to dub it right in place. So that's pretty much what we're up to right there. And then I've got these pieces on the end that span from the lower fashion piece to the top, all fit already, like that. And they go in there like that, one on the starboard side and one on the port side. And a few other things. We got limber holes cut down in between the horn timber and the end of the fashion piece. So if any water were to get in here, it'll run down those, what they call limbers. Now, we didn't make those limbers awfully big because we don't anticipate really any water getting in here, so I think that'll handle the volume, no problem at all. Then we've got some pieces that are going to go in vertically, like this, like a little bit of a vertical framework. And we've got the mortise, or the, the notch for it cut in the bottom framework, so that's going to fit in there like that. And after this is fastened in, we'll cut another notch up here and fit the piece. So, like I say again, that's overkill too. It doesn't really have to be there, but we like the look of it. The other thing we're going to do is limber it right here, right at the bottom. So if water were to get in here, it'll run past this framework down into that limber hole and just keep right on going. So that's the idea with that. And, I've just got the tiniest little bit of fitting right here to do. I'm going to just flatten this up just a tiny bit more where I feel it's got a couple of little lumps in it there so that piece doesn't rock around. Let's see how it fits now. Okay. Yeah, no movement at all. That's exactly what we want. I'm going to inspect it visually. I'm going to wiggle it around, make sure it fits flat. Same thing on the other side. And we may cut a little curve around in here just to make it look pretty. like I say, lop the outside off, and once we get it fastened in, we're pretty much done. Well, that's pretty much it for today. We're going to have to get fastening this in place and everything like that. It's a little bit boring. We're just going to bed it down and fasten it through the plywood into it. And like I say, I've got the 2 corner blocks made and the center blocks. We got the vertical framework made, and it's all going together. All I can say really is, you know, it's a lot of work doing something like this. They're not easy to loft. They're not easy to make the individual pieces, not easy at all. It's really even tough for a shipwright. Even with the experience that I've got, it's just not the easiest thing to work on. Not the easiest thing to get accomplished. All I can say, we'll have to cut it. I would say you can anticipate it not being very easy to do, and you've got to work at it really hard. So as complicated as something like this is, you can get all the information about this kind of work out of Howard Chappell's book on boat building. And I would recommend that you read that before you do something like this. All the information's in there, how to loft it and everything like that. You know, I would recommend that you read that book for sure, like I did when I was 8 years old. That's how I got this information. You know, I've accumulated a ton of information by reading and by working on all kinds of boats, mostly repair work my whole life. But, you know, like I say, get Howard Chappell's book and learn how to do it.